Balcony time.
BTP.
Hello. I'm Nick.
I'm Andy.
I'm Josh.
And that is Shia LaBeouf.
Well, the back of his head anyway.
Bila Chef.
So
Podcast.
we were prepared.
We are.
Well, what I want to talk about
What do you want to talk about?
is World of Warcraft. I know it's a
What
huge surprise to
year
everybody,
Is it?
but Josh and I
I mean,
our friend,
it's kind of news.
our friend Andy as well, have been playing a little bit of World of Warcraft on a private server. It's known as Warmain. I'm showing Josh probably the most pure form of Warcraft.
It's everything he promised me. It was 10 years ago.
Yeah,
High fructose cork syrup.
more than 10 years ago, 15 years ago, boy. So yeah, we've been playing on a private server called Warmain on a private host called Warmain and a server called Lordaeron. It's a 1-to-1 like identical replica to Wrath of the Lich King, which was my favorite expansion. It's the last patch of Wrath of the Lich King, so all of the content's out. It's 3.3.5 for anybody that knows what that means.
It's currently my favorite expansion as well.
And
Word.
it also adds up to 11.
That's true. And yeah, I've been having a blast playing to the point where like I'm jonesing. I ask these guys like every fucking night if we can play, because most of the time it's a no from at least one of them.
I've been I feel like I've been wading in pretty heavily.
He has his waders on.
Medium heavy.
His warlock
wading in
waders.
medium.
As
You got
far
the warlock wader drop, didn't you?
Well,
From
like
Ragefire?
I bought the fucking battle pass for Apex, right? So I have that. So I have to fucking play that, dude. I have to play it.
FOMO.
I have to play it because I need to get enough stuff so it's free.
I get my skins.
I gotta have
Pay
it,
my
right?
money.
It's already. I got
My
it.
$10.
I mean, you
now.
could get your skins in Apex, or you could fucking hit level 20, get your mount, get some of your best abilities.
What do you want? Another shitty skin for Octane or a horse?
A wolf,
A horse.
a horse.
A Wars. I do want a Wars, but I'm also like trying to play and finish Cyberpunk 2077, but like just new games keep jumping in front of it, and if I don't continue playing, I, much like Gandalf in the Mines of Moria, I'll have no idea where the fuck I'm at, and I'll have to fucking sniff the air to find my way back into fucking Cyber Ninja.
I do not have memory of this place.
I won't. So I don't like. There's that, and then like every once in a while, someone says rock and stone, and like rock, yeah, in stone, and that gets my pickaxe mighty gleaming. So I'm just. I mean, there's so many things. It just keeps stacking on. But I am.
Welcome to being a gamer in the current year
Yeah,
of our
But,
Lord.
but I have been having fun playing WoW. I'm playing an orc lock. My name is Hamora.
Hamora.
Ham Aura. Are you female?
I am. Imagine
No.
Orc Gamora.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
So
going
that
with.
chick from Raid Shadow Legends.
Yeah, that's what I'm going with. But I'm having a blast so far.
Me too.
What is most fun
This one.
for me? A little bit, yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
She actually even has my hairstyle.
Yeah, that's true.
What's most fun for me is I can hear the fucking delight in this motherfucker's voice. Like it's.
Because he's been doing this heroin
He's been
for
doing
2
it
decades.
like he's been
and
doing it
you're
for
like,
so
all right,
long, but like
Just one bump.
he's getting to relive some shit by me getting to experience it, and then I'm getting more out of the experience because of how much he's reliving. It's like it's a cyclical thing. It's kind of neat. It's kind of fun. It's a thing that's been happening though.
Dude, the first time we flew from Crossroads, this is the first time Josh has ever been on a flight path.
Okay.
We fly from Crossroads into Orgrimmar, and it's like
That's a good one.
Yeah, you just
That's a good one.
you arrive home, right? And you get the Orgrimmar theme that plays, and it's incredible. I mean, you
Strange
walk,
horns.
you fly in, and you're like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's
there it is, baby.
Now this is actually the wrong fucking theme.
Didn't quite sound right.
Yeah, that's
That
the
was the
Cataclysm
bad
theme.
expansion.
That's the same one. 14 years
Not
ago.
gonna Find it. All right, start the podcast
Yeah.
over. There you go.
That's where it's at. It just gives me fucking feels, man. The first, like, you hear the music out in Duratar, and it's like, it's just a little wisp of music, and you're like, ah, man, feels so good. And then I just, crossing the bridge into Crossroads, man, I was like, this is where the game starts, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
It's what he said. It's beginning.
Yeah.
Critical Role uses a lot of music from the zones in World of Warcraft in the background, and Cyril will be watching it. I'll be doing something, and like my ears just perk up.
Well, WoW is
memory
just
unlocked. What
Yeah,
is?
dude.
I know that song.
It's just always had such good fucking music.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I've gotten lost in Thunder Bluff and Undercity.
Everybody gets lost in Thunderbluff.
He had a guide though.
got
I was literally
levels.
showing him, and
I was.
I mean, to be fair, he got lost in fucking DayZ when he was 10 feet away from
that's
us.
true.
And I have a compass and a mini map, so I have fewer excuses.
He got lost inside the submarine in Daisy. There's 2 exits, one on either side.
It was confusing. One didn't look real. But in any case, the hardest thing right now for me is fighting the urge of making another character.
Yeah.
Because I desperately want to make a bull person. I desperately want to be a
They
Tauren.
have a name, Josh.
Yeah, they're the Tauren.
They're bovine American.
I always called her Aunt Deb, but all right.
Do you have an Aunt Deb?
No, I don't. I do have an Aunt Peg, though.
Is she like
That's a
in the
good one.
spirit of Aunt Deb?
A little bit. I was gonna, change her name to protect her privacy. But the funniest thing about my
But I
aunt-
didn't. So.
But I didn't. Well, because it leads to a charming story about me.
Okay.
When I was a child, I used to make whenever my
God, that
parents.
was 61 years ago.
It was a long time ago. Whenever my parents, God rest them, I shouldn't make that joke. Sorry. But whenever my parents would like say an animal name, like I was trying to make like the animal noise. So it's a horse neigh. But the first time I met my Aunt Peg, I said, "Oh, Aunt." And I proceeded to call her that for a while. Apparently,
I bet she loved that.
she did not. She did
Weird.
not. So anyway, charming story. I call her Aunt Peg for the majority of my life until like I of course remember this story at some point, and then just randomly I was like, "What up, Aunt?" And it
As an
turns
adult?
out, as an adult, turns out she hated it more.
That day Joshua was stabbed.
But anyway, it was cute. I used to make animal noises. I still do sometimes.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying WoW.
I am.
Well, we'll see, because I think next on the docket, so we've done Ragefire Chasm now.
I want my mount.
Baby's first dungeon.
I hit level 20, Josh is 19, Andy is like 16, I think.
Little baby.
Which makes us all eligible for Wailing Caverns. So we'll see.
Eligible.
Yeah.
Yeah, 23, 24.
We'll see if Josh survives Wailing Caverns.
How did he do in RFC?
Great.
I didn't
But
die.
I'm tanking, so I'm a very experienced Wrath of the Lich King tank.
Honestly, I feel like my experience
Who's healing?
without Andy would be more difficult. So
Yeah, who's healing?
Andy is. He's doing a good job.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say 22, 23 before you hit Wailing Man.
No, we'll be fine, because Random Dungeon Finder does the tune down a little bit, so we'll be
it
fine.
does?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
Back
RDF,
in the day, man, yeah, it said
Yeah.
you're eligible, but you're going to get
well,
your shit
so
kicked in.
I'm also overgeared, and so was Josh. And I made that, and we did that intentionally. So we have maxed our crafting skills out for our levels
I'm a tailor.
multiple times over now.
Did you get all the money or mats to
Well,
do that?
so that's relatively easy because it's Wrath of the Lich King. So I can create a Death Knight who's level 55.
yeah.
Starts with like 40 gold. And what I've been doing is in my off hours, while Josh and Andy are out doing whatever the fuck it is they're doing instead of playing WoW, is mining and gathering. So I even went into Ragefire Chasm with my Death Knight and did like 8 runs for all of the stuff that he can disenchant.
Oh, gotcha.
And
To get
all of the
his
tailoring
enchanting
mats.
up.
And then on top of mining, I took herb gathering as well. And Andy's playing an herbalist and a alchemist.
Yeah.
So I got him all
Here's
the
all
level
your
herbs.
silver leaf and
Right.
peace bloom.
Exactly. Like here's 200 silver leaf and peace bloom. Go to fucking town.
It does feel
Here's
kind of.
here's 40 stacks of linen cloth for you, Josh.
It does feel kind of cool to have most of what my character is wearing. I made it. So that's kind of neat. So I'm pretty stoked about that.
I'm excited for when you're like level 34 and your gear is so mismatched. You look like an orc fell through a Toys R Us clothing section.
Yeah, classic is like
really
that.
bad.
I've often looked like that so far. So are you saying that's going to get worse?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
cool.
dude. Yeah,
Cool.
you're going to be some weird colors. You're going to be looking real fucking goofy.
I'm about it though. You know?
And that's the classic experience. Is even end game, you looked fucking goofy. Like the one of the last tier sets makes you just look like bugs. You know, I showed you some of that.
Yeah, I was gonna say you showed me some of them.
Yeah. But some of them end up looking really fucking cool. And most of the gear through like Burning Crusade and Wrath of the Lich King looks good. I'd say Wrath of the Lich King is when gear started looking really good, like across the board. So when we get there eventually, I mean, we've been playing for what, like 3 weeks?
2.5, 3.
I think we've not talked about it on the podcast for two or three podcasts now.
Yeah. We held off as long as we could, guys.
Yeah, but we want to talk about it. And yeah, there's a little bit of danger talking about private servers and stuff on Twitch, but we're not going to be playing it on Twitch.
No, we won't be streaming it. So.
And we're definitely not advertising it. As far as it goes, the goal here for us is to play a little WoW, and that's just to fucking scratch my World of Warcraft itch because I'm jonesing like a motherfucker, and to have Josh see some of like what World of Warcraft was and could be.
But keep to our boycott.
Yeah, we just don't. Honestly,
that's the primary thing. Honestly, is keeping to that boycott.
I don't want to give Activision Blizzard any of my money.
I stand up for so very few things. I won't eat at Chick-fil-A. I'm not buying Blizzard games.
Everything else on the table.
On the table.
Yep.
It's negotiable.
Shy, I thought that was funny.
So I'm glad you're enjoying it.
I am.
Having a blast.
I do want to live on the air on the internet for everyone to see in perpetuity. Shame you both. I recommend a lot of games. Some of them I really, really like. And you guys nod your heads and smile and don't say anything. And then you never play them with me.
No, that's not true. We played the dwarf game with you.
Yeah. The dwarf game? Which one was that?
Deep Rock Galactic.
And how long did it take you to start playing that game?
Not as long as it took me to play WoW.
Yeah, give me this.
Okay.
Give me this. I've been trying to talk Josh into playing WoW since 2004.
That has full credence. Josh, you're off the hook. Andy, you are not. I played DRG for like a year before you guys played it.
Okay, so hold on.
I also told you about Smite for years, and you never played it. And you
did
played
play
fucking
Smite.
Heroes of the Storm.
I did play
you
Smite.
Never played it with me. That's the whole point.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, whatever.
I didn't fucking like Smite.
But you liked Heroes of the Storm.
No, I didn't. I played Heroes of the Storm so I could get I played Heroes of the Storm so I could get my free mount.
Whatever.
As soon as I got my free mount, I stopped playing Heroes of the Storm.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Heroes of the Storm was for a free mount.
Andy over here.
Listen, I got
67.
I got my fucking crag. I got my fucking
Josh
crag.
is the young one now.
I got my fucking crag kitty and I stopped playing Heroes. It was fine.
That was my nickname in high school.
Honestly, dude, just MOBAs are not my thing. I've tried playing League. I've tried playing Dota. I've tried playing Smite. I've tried playing Heroes of the Storm, and I don't like them all.
Okay, I'm going to quote Diablo.
Yeah.
T3's free.
Okay.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on a phone.
Yeah.
That means you can play it wherever the fuck you want. It's worth trying. Just try it. It's free. All the drugs I provide are free. I never charge.
Yeah.
I make them in-house. Artisan handcrafted, safe for salmon, bird free.
Well, let's talk about all the games that I play that it takes like a year to get into.
Yeah, because they suck.
They're awesome. They're fucking incredible.
What, DayZ?
Yeah. Fucking incredible.
Every time we play DayZ, don't get me wrong, it's fun. There's a unique draw to it. We do the same thing.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Yeah.
That is my least favorite gaming experience.
I have
love
offered up a
new
different
games.
experience.
Okay. There's only so many times I can get geared up in the northern part of the island, go to the southern part of the island, get scared about a bear, and then fucking quit. That's what we do.
I know that. So that's true. That is my experience playing with you. But like, I have a very different experience playing DayZ, just because I'm an experienced player.
Okay.
You know, dude.
I'm a novice. So I enjoy it differently. Is that what you're saying?
No, the option to play on fucking day one servers that were super populated was always on the table if you wanted to.
Okay. I'm just saying. We've tried the other ones. You didn't like them, and we'd go back to Namalsk.
Well, yeah, it's going to be Namalsk, but we could have played with populated servers.
Okay.
I mean, at the end of the day, the other maps are the same thing, just a different direction, right? Like you start out in a newbie area and you get yourself gear and whatnot. Yeah, but we could have played on totally populated servers. That's always on the table. I'm down to play day one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm never playing DayZ again. I had my fill of
I got
raw
that.
rice
I got that.
and
But
powdered milk.
let's also talk about the games that I just do jump in with you right away. Satisfactory.
Satisfactory.
Valheim.
Ooh, I
I mean,
like
those
that
those
one.
are a couple of the more
I like
recent
Valheim.
ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That one was a lot of fun.
Okay.
I'm down to play games. I love video games.
Okay. Then play T3.
I don't know if I'll play T3. Listen, okay, so here,
Turn
okay.
70, motherfucker.
He
One.
just said a phone. He did stipulate phone MOBAs. So like he did.
Yeah.
It's not a MOBA.
It's not a MOBA, but
Oh,
it's
okay.
an Overwatch clone, and I didn't care for Overwatch either.
That's true.
I played the beta of Overwatch, and I never played it again after season 1.
Play Apex Mobile.
I think I got.
I stopped playing Apex.
Didn't I get you to play Overwatch with me like once or twice?
No, I never
No?
played. I've never played Overwatch on the console.
Okay, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I stopped before everybody else picked it up.
He was cool like that.
No, I just
Early
didn't. I was like, oh, this is a lot of fun for like a few days, and then I got over the gameplay cycle. Just like
Oh man.
short games like that aren't for me. I don't play Call of Duty anymore.
This does remind me. I've had bone jarring withdrawals from not being able to play Rock Band. I mentioned
I heard, yeah.
on thing the other day. And I looked into it, trying to get like official Rock Band stuff up and running. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
So there are alternatives. And I think I want to try to get a nice, decent, like electronic drum set,
Sure.
and play that again. Cause it like between Frets
Like
on
MIDI
Fire.
drums?
Yeah. Anything that, Frets on Fire, and there's a couple other Rock Band Guitar Hero alternatives
Yeah.
it just works. And they have 10 million thousand songs. And I really want to start doing that again. I think it'd be a lot of fun. I know you never played it much with us.
I played a bit here.
You played a bit here and there, but I really want to do that again.
Yeah.
Instead of blasting away on my steering wheel driving, like this isn't the same, but it's as good as I can get. Right?
Yeah. I'm always down to play a Rock Band type game. Always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem is they need to make more of them. Come on,
Yeah.
Harmonix, do it. Stop not doing it. My neighbor, I have a neighbor.
They have Beat Saber. There's Beat Saber now.
Yeah.
not
It's
the
a
same.
rhythm
I've
game.
played
It's
it.
not
It's a lot of
yeah.
fun,
Yeah.
but it's not the same. Where I'm staying, I have a neighbor. He is currently addicted to something fierce. And it's weird watching. There's this dichotomy. He smokes and I smoke. And like, I'm trying to quit. And he says he's trying to quit. And every once in a while I'll come over and bum a cigarette. And he actually gives me them back when he gets paid. It's like the first semi-homeless guy has ever like given me one back. There's like,
Sure,
this is
yeah.
a new experience. And he's very nice. He's very congenial and well enunciated. But then sometimes he'll come outside and he's playing like some weird gambling game on his phone. I can hear it.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever like he spins the reel, it doesn't go right, he just screams in anger at the top of his lungs like a feral cat. And then like, 5 minutes later, he'll come by and really quietly like ask, if he can have another cigarette. And then he'll go back to just, it's the fucking weirdest thing. The guy's a hoot. I
like
bring
it.
that up because you mentioned you had some crazy people out at your work recently.
My work is rife with them. It draws them in like a
Some
like
kind
a
of
magnet.
cyclone.
I recently had one like now I generally don't get angry people at work. Like I'll get weirdos, and like I like a good delightful weirdo. But this lady was aggressive and angry, and I didn't understand it. But she comes up, and we're like 25 minutes from closing. She's like, "Hey, I'm here to take a tour." She's looking at me all angry, and I'm like, "Oh, well, sorry, ma'am, but the last tour of the day is already gone." And it had. It was like, we're almost closing, just a few minutes out from that now. And she aggressively sticks her money in through the window and is like, I'm here to take a tour.
This will change your mind.
And I was like, okay, well, I mean.
Okay, so this amount of money, was it like the regular tour amount of money, or was it like a 50?
It was, so for her price range in her age category was $18.50. She handed me a 20. Well, shoved a 20 into my hands. And I was like, okay, well, before I take your money, I want you to know that we do close at 4, 25 minutes away from now. It's just the two of us, so it's probably going to move a little faster than that standard tour. And she goes, well, I came here for a tour. I was like, okay, I'm going to get my tour. That's fine. So we go out, and I'm explaining the history and all that good stuff. Again, it's just me and her. So we do my first height change with her. She doesn't see it. I'm like, okay, no worries. Let me go grab another tour guide. We'll try this out. See if another tour guide helps you see it. So I go get another tour guide, and by the time I come out, like 10, 15 seconds later, she's already moved further into the area. Just ready to move on or whatever, I guess.
Starts wandering off into the woods.
So I come out, and I'm like, oh, I got another tour guide so we could see the thing. She's like, yeah, I'm just ready to move on. And I was like, okay. So she had like a fancy camera. So I'm thinking like, oh, okay, maybe she's just here for pictures. So I go up and I'm like, ma'am, if you're not interested in the traditional tour, and then like she interrupts me before I can offer her a customized, like a nice thing. I'm trying to be nice. And she's like, oh, I drove all this way and I paid for a tour. Of course I'm interested in a tour. And I was like, and I should have said nothing. But instead I was like, well, it seems like if you were interested in the tour, you would have let me show you the height change with the tour guide like I was trying to. Just in a very calm tone. And she screamed at me, I will not be fucking talked down to.
Oh, my.
And I said, ma'am, I'm confused. And then she turned around and marched off to scream at the tour guide that I brought out to try and help her see a height change. She screamed at the other tourists that were on the last tour of the day and that were, still, a couple of them were still there. And then screamed to see I'm not going to repeat what she said. Okay. Manager. And they were like, oh, he is the manager.
Uh-oh.
And if you want your money back, you have to get it back from him.
That being you.
And I politely gave her money back and wished her a happy, safe trip on the way home verbally. Now, what I wished her, again, mentally, I will keep to myself because probably goes against TOS. But that, it was very
bizarre.
It's very bizarre because,
Not
normally,
a place for angry people.
No, normally the worst you have to, what I have to deal with is tourists being jerks to other tourists.
Yeah.
But this, very rarely is someone's anger focused, or at work is someone's anger focused directly at me like that. It was very strange. It was very strange.
Unique kind of person to go to a tourist trap in the middle of nowhere and be angry about it.
Yeah, it was because generally people are happy. And I was trying to the thing is if I was being a dick about it or something, that's one thing. But I was legit trying to give her a custom tour. It's dude, just get out of your way for a second, man. Fuck.
Yeah, what a life she lives.
You are a nicer person than I am.
I try to be nice at work. Well, I'm so crotchety elsewhere. You got to make up for it.
You have to wear a customer service face for 8 hours a day. You're going to be crotchety after that.
Technically, in my life, in my line of work, I'm supposed to wear a customer service face as well. Yeah. I put up with it for
17 minutes.
Less than that, for sure. Over the phone, somebody's yelling at me, sir and or ma'am, this isn't really getting us anywhere. Let's get to the root of your problem, and hopefully what I can do for you is fix it. That's what I'm here for. They continue to yell. It's like, okay, well, this isn't constructive, and in order for me to help you, we need some construction happening here. Okay. Third try is okay. At the next outburst, I'm going to be hanging up the phone. on the next outburst, I usually don't hang up the phone. What I usually do is berate them into a corner, and then I hang up the phone.
Fun.
And so far, I've been mostly allowed to do it because I still do it professionally.
It's a professional berating.
It's a professional berating. Sir and or ma'am, you called seeking for help.
Really? Do you call?
No.
Sir and or ma'am.
Just depending on the voice, right?
Yeah.
You called looking for help. I've made all good faith attempts so far to help you. You've made that impossible. Your constant berating of me is a poor reflection on your character. If I see this number call back again, I will not answer. You are welcome to come into the store and speak with a member of management team. My name is Andy. Go ahead and give them my name, and I will gladly help them catch up to whatever issue it is you're facing. Have a nice day, and then I hang up the phone.
If I run for president, the 3 things on my platform are A, all public bathroom stall doors will have the foot opener, so you do not have to touch the handle. B, if you don't use your turn signal when changing lanes or turning, we shoot you. I'm just gonna kill 80% of America. And
Cool.
for the survivors, I'm gonna make it law that the customer is always wrong until proven otherwise.
Okay, good. Beautiful.
That kind of rewinds it back, right? Gets some more people on my platform.
Honestly, I feel like if customer service people were just allowed to fight one customer a day.
Oh yeah,
It
and the
changed the
customer
game.
doesn't know. Like they
Yeah.
might be the one.
Yeah, it's like exactly. It's like, ooh, fuck! It's early in the day. There's no way he hasn't. There's no way he's fought somebody yet.
I have to be nice.
Okay, fuck. I mean, yeah, sure, but it's like maybe he's saving it. Who the fuck knows? But just like all of a sudden, just like the apron comes off, and it's like, oh fuck.
Milkshake to the dome.
Dude, have you noticed how bad the fucking like road rage is? Like as soon as the weather started to get good here, how bad people are like the bad drivers really fucking came out of the woodworks.
So not
It
only
is
are they out
legitimate
there,
concerning driving around the roads right now.
Yeah.
The shit I'm seeing.
I'll tell you how concerned I am. There's a Hillary Clinton sticker on my car from when I bought it. Now, yeah, I like honestly, I catch flack. I am certain I catch flack on the road from it.
Probably, yeah.
Because I'll just be
Where we
like
live.
fucking cruising along, and then I'll just see some asshole with a fucking Trump sticker cut over in front of me and slow down, and I'm like,
I had a zipper
Why?
merge today coming back from the city above us. This guy's like 100 feet behind me, and he guns it. I'm going 75 something in the 65, about as fast as I'll go, and he had to have been going close to 100 just to pass me to get in front of me before I merged
Before the
over.
merge.
And then, of course, immediately he's just like directly ahead of me for the remainder of the drive because
Yeah.
it's a bunch of red lights. I'm like, was that necessary? Was
Right.
it necessary to do that? Why?
So my commute to work is a joke. It's my car doesn't warm up in the time it takes me to get to work. Like
Yeah,
it's still showing the like
I
cold
can
symbol.
almost, if
you
this
could throw a rock
Yeah.
from here and
Yeah.
almost hit it.
this
bro.
building wasn't here,
If it weren't for a couple apartments, we could see my work, right?
Yeah.
And that's true. That's been true of a couple of my jobs, which is really nice. I live on a very densely populated area, and like there's lots of businesses just right down the road. I happen to work at one of them. Now, on my way back home, I like to take the long way around. So I don't take this street. I go around the side street.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah,
and then I
yeah.
come back and up this street.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I take the long way home. I just like to do that. It's usually enough time to get in one song.
Yeah.
Kind of
the commute back.
yeah, it gives me time to get out of work mode and into like relax
sure,
mode.
sure.
Yeah, I like to take. It's still a 3.5 minute commute, but it's enough time to decompress and feel like I'm out of work. So there is a hill upon leaving the parking lot of my work. You turn right and it goes fairly steep upward. And at the end of this hill is a really sharp right hand turn.
Oh, yeah.
Right hand turn if you're
a
going up
fun
the
one.
hill. And people like to cut into the other lane. It's a blind curve, by the way.
The problem is on the other side of the road is all the parking for the
Yeah.
apartment complex. So that lane that they should be in is very narrow,
It is.
and they want to cut into the inside lane. Yeah.
But there's signs all over the place. The curve is supposed to be taken at 15. And people like to take that curve at like fucking 40.
Yeah.
So I see that I've already run into multiple people, like not run into, but I've already happened upon multiple people opening their door as I'm running up this hill. And it's like, okay, guys, like some situational awareness here would go a long fucking way. Nearly already getting into an accident on my way up. And I take that slowly because I leave right as it starts to ramp up. So my car doesn't even have enough time to really get to speed by the time I even get to this corner. So, of course, douche bro McGee in hardcore lifted Chevy Silverado is coming around the corner, and I'm like, he's gonna end up in my lane. I didn't slow down at all. I was like, no, fuck this guy. Didn't slow down at all.
Get some money out of it.
Well, no, my thoughts here were that if he makes me run off the road, I'm gonna do something. So, and mostly I'm just gonna yell out the window at somebody because I'm already pissed off in the first 30 seconds I've been in my car.
Yeah.
And of course he does. I literally have to drive through dirt and almost into a fucking
That bush
ditch.
chain link fence thing there.
Yeah. So as the guy's passing, my window's down, and I yelled, "Stay in your lane, you fucking cocksucker!" as loud as I absolutely can.
Satisfying.
I don't usually verbalize my anger on the road. I'll talk about a little bit of road rage later, but I don't usually verbalize my road rage on the road. But I have just a teeny bit of road rage for just people that are pieces of shit. It doesn't happen otherwise. It takes some really shitty people for me to get angry. But I continue on down the road, right? Curves over. I'm like cooling down a little bit. About 10 seconds into taking this road, I'm going back up another hill, and I see the truck that I just called a cocksucker behind me. And I'm like, all right, cool. I didn't get a good look at the guys he was passing because I'm paying attention to his big ass truck and avoiding his tires, because his tires actually come up to over my head as I'm driving.
Yeah,
that
tracks.
I drive a really low car, kind of a sporty thing.
Same.
Yeah. And these tires are literally come up to almost the roof of my car. They're at my head level. So big ass truck. And that's what I was paying attention to as I was passing. In my rear view, because he's so fucking close to me, like I had to adjust my rear view mirror to get the whole picture in. This dude is fucking huge. And I'm like, uh-oh, I fucked up. So I'm thinking, okay, there's a couple things that are going to happen here. One is he's going to get it out of his system, hopefully, and he leaves me alone. Doubtful, because I'm going to be home in 2 minutes. Two is if he follows me long enough, I'm just going to have to pull over and we're going to fight. It's probably not a good idea. This guy is definitely carrying. It's where we live, and he's driving a lifted ass truck. This dude's definitely carrying. Third option is I let him follow me home, and we duke it out there, or we have words there, or whatever.
Fight on my front porch.
That's kind of the last thing I want to do, because I don't want this dude to know where I live.
I know.
Yeah.
So, because I really just don't want him to fuck with my car, when I'm away from it. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, when do I stop? Inevitably, I feel like I'm going to have to stop if he keeps following me. Like, I will drive past my place if he continues to follow me. And we might just have to address this. Fortunately, he did stop 2 roads down. Like, I had one right turn to get back home, and he does stop following me. So he doesn't see where I am. But like the amount of thought that went into the next minute that he was following me was like, well, if we fight, I'm going to get my ass fucking kicked, or I'm going to get shot, or he's going to find out where I live. Let's hope he goes away. He did go away inevitably.
Consequences of my actions.
Right. But listen, dude, like a reasonable person would have said, yeah, I fucked up. I'm a cocksucker. I mean, at the end of the day, the guy was a fucking cocksucker.
But
Yeah.
even a reasonable person, when you're driving, you're always right, of course, would be like, fuck that guy. And just go on. Now, I have a move that I've developed recently that I am sure is going to wind up with me getting at least shot at. I've taken to, instead of honking,
Putting Hillary stickers on their car.
just honking at them, beep, beep, I will hold my horn down for a fucking mile behind you, solidly.
Oh, I fucking hate you.
Solidly. I will start annoying people who have nothing to do with what's happening.
People do that up and down this street all fucking day, and it fucking I want to.
Oh my god, dude!
Things I want to do to them.
I did it to a guy who's in the passing lane. Guess what he was not doing? So I started laying into it for a quarter of a mile before he fucking changed lanes, and then because I'm in, baby. I changed lanes behind him. Oh. And continued not to pass.
That's where you lose your righteousness.
Oh,
now you're just being
I was
spiteful.
beyond righteousness. I was in despite. I'm aware of that. I was in the wrong at this point. I continued that until he pulled off the freeway on the road, like on the side of the road. And then I double gun flipped him off as I drove by.
That's dangerous. Keep a hand on the wheel.
Yeah.
As far as we're talking about,
He was a 65-year-old man.
Yeah.
And
hey, almost as old as you.
I felt very bad afterwards. But I was like, dude, why are you in the passing lane? But at that point, I didn't care anymore, and I couldn't see who it was, and then I passed, and I felt very bad.
I have a similar story, whether I'll get to in a minute.
We were getting gas just, 2-3 days ago. The Fred Meyer gas station faces the highway there, and just huge loud crash. I look up, and this gold SUV has hit this truck so hard that the truck has hit another car, that has hit another car, that has hit another car.
Oh, my God.
The front of this SUV is just completely collapsed in. And I get out and call 911 and run up there, tell 911 I'm checking on them, and go door to door, make sure that everyone's okay. And I come back, and as I'm getting back in this car, this woman just almost runs up to my door, puts my windows down. She puts her hands on the door. Were you taking pictures? Did you get pictures? She's face is almost in the window. I was like, no, I just called the cops, let them know there's an accident. And she just immediately I don't know how to describe it except for Good Samaritan Karen says, I was walking back there that way and I saw this guy coming down the road and he was drunk and I knew it. I knew he shouldn't have been driving and I was thinking, oh, he's got to hit somebody and it's going to be bad. And she just white knuckle gripping, her fingers are in the car, just trying to tell me about all the things that she saw. And the whole time the gas station attendant, he's standing with his hands on his hips and everybody that passes, he's like, I saw the whole thing. I saw it. I saw the whole thing. Just as cars are driving by. There's people getting so excited about a little thing like an accident. They're just, it's so important that I need to be the center of attention on this thing.
How little you have going on.
Yeah, it made that woman's whole day that she got to talk to somebody about it. And that guy just kept trying to interrupt her. He's like, yeah, I saw it. I saw what happened. I was like, that's cool. We're trying to leave. Can you let go of the car, please? Wow. Yeah.
We do have to wrap up soon, but I want to touch on the road rage real quick.
Okay.
So I'm driving along on Highway 62. It doesn't mean anything for you, audience, but I'm setting the stage here for these guys.
That adds up to 8.
That's true. I'm driving along on Highway 62, and somebody can so they're the fucking idiots that have to be ahead of everybody. It doesn't matter that there's always somebody in front of you, but they have to be ahead of them as well. So they keep cutting me off in traffic and way too close. Inches, not feet worth of bumper room.
Yeah.
And they've done it 3 or 4 times on our commute, and I'm just fucking over it already. I've been honking at them. I've been flipping them off. I've gone into full road rage mode. Super pissed. And they keep doing it. And I was headed out to Shady Cove, and I noticed that they were going to be getting off this highway soon because they're turning right onto Highway 140. I had decided to fight these guys. It really just didn't. So 2 guys in the front and passenger seat.
You guys are gonna get shot.
Granted, I was.
Both of you gonna get shot.
Granted,
so hard.
let's talk about my age at this point. I was maybe 18, 19.
Oh, this is a while back.
Yeah, full of rage and cum. Okay. So
mine was 3 weeks ago.
Terrible. So I followed him down 140 for a while, and by a while, I mean we got to Klamath Falls.
That's a whole other city.
I drove an hour and a half out of my way to accost these people. And they understood what was happening because they kept speeding up. And then eventually they'd slow down because we were getting into the 100-mile-an-hour territory at some points. Not only that, but I'm going to catch up to you anyways. That place is windy as shit. So I'm going to catch up to you. So yeah, I followed them an hour and a half into another city through harrowing turns. By the time, dude, honestly, about the halfway point, I was totally cool, and I was like, what the fuck am I doing?
Being dumb.
I'm going to see this through.
I did. So I pull into what is, I assume they pull into a driveway. I assume it's their house. I got out of my car. I got into my trunk. I grabbed one of my many crowbars that I had in that trunk.
Not many.
Many. I had
many
several
crowbars.
crowbars
We
in the back
started a
of my
collection.
trunk. Yeah, I had a bit of a crowbar.
It's a whole other story.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. So I grabbed one of my many crowbars. It's my favorite one. It's the one that I always wanted to kind of be in a fight with. So
This whole time.
But all I did as I walked up with my crowbar, I looked threatening. I didn't feel that threatening. At this point, I have it for my own self-protection, really. I walk up and I said, do you guys know how big of assholes you are and how terribly and shittily you drive? I just need to make a point that you are dangerous on the road and go fuck yourselves. And then I left.
Oh, fuck yourselves. Yeah. You guys are going to get shot.
Eventually, yeah, it's going to happen.
Thesis statement of.
You know, the point of this story is, Josh, we need to get guns.
Yes, absolutely.
We need to get
To
guns.
shoot yourselves in anger.
I need Yep, absolutely. If some guns are dangerous, more guns probably make it less dangerous. That way, if everybody's armed.
It's like an
That's how it
integer
works.
overflow.
Yeah,
if
the
there's enough
good guy with a
guns,
gun.
it wraps around back to zero.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's how that works.
Yeah, that's my that was the absolute epitome. Epitome? Epitome. That is the worst road rage I've ever experienced. Everything else other than that has been like flipping people off on occasion and like
I just
screaming
try to
something
stay
out my
away from
window.
bad drivers. It scares me, concerns me. I don't want to get in a wreck. I don't want to get fucking hit by somebody. Like,
No,
if
like,
you need to be
that's-
in front, man, you be in front.
I like
I'm
to call-
I'm in no rush to get home.
I like to let people know that they're a rude name.
Yeah, for like most of the time, like I have to be like I gave that guy a little toot, like beep beep, hey, I'm behind you, like
Yeah.
move over, like I mean,
You did what you thought.
yeah,
was
like I did what I
respectful
thought
thing
was
to do?
a
You were already embroiled in rage, but you restrained yourself.
yeah, like
Yeah.
I was like, dude, why the fuck won't this guy move? Maybe he just doesn't see me. So I dropped back. I gave him a little beep beep. Hey, I'm fucking behind you. I can't get around you in time to go around these guys. You can move over and jump over real quick. You know, like I felt I did what was the respectful. Like I feel like I have to be pushed into a point where like I'm like, okay, this is what.
I think
This is
about
what
it
I'm doing
as
now.
you're walking on the sidewalk and there's two people ahead of you and they're taking up the sidewalk and you walk behind them for a minute or two and then you say like, pardon me, excuse me, to try to get past them, and then they don't. So in response, you proceed to scream in a high-pitched trill for an hour and a half while you follow them home. I'm saying it's funny, don't get me wrong, but there's a
I'm
lot of
just
sharks
saying.
in that pond that you jumped over.
I feel like the moment I let open with that sharp trill, they're gonna fucking move out of my goddamn way.
One would hope that, or they are just going to shoot you.
I mean, maybe. I like to. That's how I think I've avoided it so far. Is I go
Sheer
right
dumb
to
luck?
no, I go right to fucking crazy, dude.
Oh.
Like I go right to like unbuttoning my pants, spitting on your car, fucking crazy.
I need maneuver room. These pants are too tight for my spitting.
No, it's just like
I know.
I don't know. Like if you like, I mean, if you take your pants off and you start spitting on shit, people get afraid.
True.
I will keep that in mind for the future.
On that note, we got to call it.
Yeah. Remember, audience, when in doubt, unzip your pants and start spitting.